Yo, it's Go, and welcome to the video. I'm going to show you the plan that I have so far for using my new Emblems of Triumph in Phase 3 to get a couple hundred extra DPS in the first week or two. To start off, I want to show you the change I'm going to make with my spec going from Ulduar into Talk. And for me, it's going to be pretty simple. I'm going to be getting rid of Omen of Clarity and 2 points in Gale Winds, because I didn't find myself using Hurricane at all on the PTR this week. But I did test Alkin Frenzy, and it seemed to be proccing once or twice a fight. There's a lot of mechanics that were proccing Alkin Frenzy, so I want to put those points in there for the first couple weeks, see how it goes. Mana was a non-issue, so not having Omen shouldn't be a big deal. But if you want to put those 3 points into Brambles or have fully decked out improved Insect Swarm, totally understand. Or even popping the point from Moonglow up into Genesis. Whatever you want to do is up to you. My glyphs for the first week are going to stay the same with Insect Swarm, Focus, Starfall. But as soon as I get 2-piece tier 9 with the emblems, I'll switch Glyph of Focus and Glyph of Insect Swarm to Moonfire and Starfire. The 2 cheapest pieces of tier are going to be our gloves, which is going to cause a bit of an issue since I'm currently using the tier 8 gloves, which has hit, and the tier 9 does not. 45 Emblems of Triumph, 1 trophy. And same thing for the shoulders, 45 emblems, 1 trophy, so 90 emblems total. Since I'm using 252 shoulders, the shoulder pads have dormant energies. Stat-wise, it's pretty much the same. I just lose a socket, but it's still going to give me extra DPS to have that 2 set. And the third piece to buy with the emblems is the new Idol of Lunar Fury, which once I get the 2 tier in this idol is when I'll switch my 2 glyphs to really buff out Moonfire and have full Moonfire uptime and only Insect Swarm while I move. I've got all my current gear in here. I still might get Flare and maybe some Algalon boots or something before the next phase, but I'm just going to sim what I have right now, just in case. I'm even going to sim with a couple settings that I personally use, which Sim's lower, but I still use only Potion of Wild Magic, and I've got Demonic Pact set to 500. So Moonfire is unused, Insect Swarm max, Bloodlust at 5, my new spec, old glyphs, and here we go. So I'm looking at 9,500, 23 DPS right now. I'll go ahead and change the glyphs to Moonfire and Starfire. So now I have Moonfire, Starfire, Starfall. Change Moonfire usage to max, Insect Swarm to unused. Can now change the gear, put on the 245 eye level shoulders, the 245 eye level gloves, switch the idol over to Lunar Fury. I gotta change this gem. I'll just throw a Reckless Monarch in there for now. I should have all the epic gems, but just for the sim, for the video, I'll just use the current gems. And I'll just change the gem in my cloak to get the meta gem bonus. And now I need to make up that loss of hit. I'm 57 hit short. One thing I can do is switch my current crafted belt to the other crafted belt, the Sash of Ancient Power. Now this time I guess I have to switch a couple gems to the new one. I'm still 11 short after switching that, but I can swap to a Veiled Ametrine in the shoulders and upgrade the one in my chest to the epic version. And now I'm 1 over and good to go. Now that everything is set, let's see what the difference is. And it looks like 400 DPS by switching 4 pieces of gear. Not too bad. And I already have this belt. It's not like I need to get one crafted or anything. So it was just an example of a hit piece that I already have that I can easily swap. Gems won't be an issue. I'm capped on honor. I've got a stockpile of emblems. So now I'm curious how much more I'll see if I switch all the gems up to epic, which I did a video on. So it should be about 150 DPS, but let me just double check. So with full epic gems, there's an extra 143 DPS on top of the 400 from switching the gear around. I had already used a couple epic gems, so it sounds about right. And depending on the way the emblems work, I could see this by even the second lockout. Probably more like the third, but a nice chunk of DPS really early into phase 3. For the first week of the new raid, you can get 15 from the 10 men, 15 from the 25, you can get 30. 3 from the 10 men, 3 from 25 for Onyxia, so you get 6. VOA was released a week late in phase 2. If that's the same case, won't see any from VOA. From the Heroic ++ or Defense Protocol beta dungeons, they have 5 emblems day from this, like it was in phase 2. It's going to depend if it's released on a Thursday or a Tuesday, how many days the first week will have. So if it's 5 days, because it comes out on Thursday, we'll still get 25. So we're looking at 61 emblems the first week, We add an extra 10 to the Heroic Plus for 2 extra days. Then we get 35. We get 6 from VOA 10 and 25 now, and still 30 and 6 from the other 2 raids. So we're looking at 77 for week 2, which would give us 138 emblems, and we only needed 115 for those 3 pieces. So even if these are slightly off, no big deal. The big question is if the heroic dungeons are going to 5 per day, which we should find out pretty soon. There's also loads of hit gear from the new 10-man version of Talk, like bracers, belt, boots, a ring. I might not even have to use that belt. 10-man is definitely going to be a great place to get hit pieces to be able to swap all of this new gear around with. I'm looking forward to it. I had a blast on the PTR, and look forward to some more gearing videos coming up in the next couple weeks. I'm in a loot list guild, so I'll have to decide prior-wise what I want to have at the top of my list and what I kind of won't expect to get. That'll be towards the middle and bottom of my list that I'll have to sacrifice. So thanks for watching, and if you haven't checked out the PTR, I suggest you hop on there the next time it comes up and get some experience in on the new bosses.